Yo guys, what's going on? Kyle with the Car Guys. I'm joined by Josh. Obviously, you've seen him on the channel before. He's a cheater in Yu-Gi-Oh, as we all saw.
Good times. Sorry about that.
We're here for Dragon Ball Super, and a lot of people have been requesting all sorts of decks, and of course we got a few already today. And Josh actually ended up winning 2 tournaments in a row with his Mecha Frieza Apes. Obviously,
everyone's favorite leader.
Right. It's the most hated, but yeah, I think like this deck, it just like it makes this deck insane. So,
it really does.
But yeah, so you really just don't have a hard matchup versus anything other than like the mirror, I guess.
Yeah, like the deck has fair matchups versus like everything. Even when it breaks, it's like you're able to just like not literally stall out, but like the apes just block baiting, and it's like you can just grind out so well with this deck, or you can just kill like plow them and just win like by turn 3. I've won so many games. Turn 3 was insane. You just have like apes everywhere. It's like Planet of the Apes like all over. It's insane. Wakanda forever.
Okay, well let's see the list here.
So of course, Mega Frieza. With the list, we played 3 Cold Bloodless. I didn't run 4 because you don't want to draw like multiples in your hand. You know, it's of course you can use it with Frieza, but you don't want to draw. You don't want to keep using Frieza for just this. You'd rather use it for like objections or beans, things along those lines. But Cold Bloodless is still one of the best yellow cards in the game. This new card, March of the Apes. I'm running 3 of it. This card is insane. You tap 4, you get to summon 2 apes with cost of 4 less in your hand. So you summon either Vegeta or Bardock, and then you draw 2 cards. Unreal, it's nuts. I do wish though you could draw first and then summon, because so many times I would summon 1 and then draw another ape. It's like, oh, what a waste.
And then like on the Awakened side of Mecha Frieza, you can just like tap 2.
Yeah, exactly, and it only needs 1 yellow. It's unreal, it's broken, yeah. Unreal. Then the new amazing card that makes this deck unreal, Planet Vegeta. So with this card, it's an extra card, so you know, of course Frieza can make it a 0 tap. You play it, you search for any Saiyan, so it can search apes, or it could search it can literally search a super combo, or it could search the pieces for the super combo, and then at your end phase, it restands all the apes. So it's like you can swing, and it's not even bad to swing with blockers thanks to this card. This card's just insane. Like the bread and butter of the deck, this card makes it. Then for the Saiyans, I'm only playing 2 Explosive Spirits. I was playing with 4, and it did phenomenal. Like I loved it the entire tournament. But after testing like more and more as the days kept going, I started drawing him a lot more, and it's like you would never want to actually tap 3 to summon him, or you never want to just combo him to like beat a 15-15 mirror. You always just want to summon him off of Shugesh, and because I understand, you know, you can get to you can awaken really fast with this deck, but I still only ever wanted him whenever I was at 4 with Shugesh. So it's like I only ran 2, so now I'm running 2, so that I can consistently just draw it or search it with
Planet Vegeta's insane, yeah.
But phenomenal card, love it. And it's a blocker with barrier. Whew, broken. My favorite card to summon off Shugesh, Lord King Vegeta. Oh, King of the Apes, this guy's insane. When you summon him off Shugesh, he searches for an ape, and he's a 15. Like, he's just solid. Like, beautiful card. Love it. Oh, can't pick up cards. Then, of course, the new broken super combo, we have Shugesh.
Card shouldn't exist.
This card's insane. So you don't draw a card anymore with him, but you get to summon a 3 or lower Saiyan from your hand. So you'd either summon, you know, Goku or King Vegeta. And when you do, just effects go off, because both of them have a when you play effect. So when you summon Vegeta, you search for an ape. When you summon Goku, you get to pop one of their cards that is in rest mode. So it just makes the game, it's kind of like a check and balance, because so many times you'd see people just going off, like dumping their hand, bringing things up to 100k, and then if you have this with Goku, then you don't have to worry about ramping up to catch up to them.
The cool part about this deck I like is like you have the one card you can play for like the offensive, and then the one card you can play for the defensive. So like it's kind of like the happy medium in the deck.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I love it. Now onto the apes. I'm playing 3 Bardock. I don't have a 4th. I probably would play a 4th. He's really, really good. He's, like, the main thing is just, you know, he's a 4-drop to summon off of March. He has double strike, so it's not as appealing, but he does have blocker, which is amazing. The auto, don't worry people, it doesn't do anything. But the main thing is he's an ape, a 4-drop ape. Then of course Prince Vegeta. This guy's
the best card.
Wonderful. Yeah, this guy's, I wouldn't say the best. The next statement is slightly
the best ape.
Far better. But this guy is wonderful. He has crit, blocker, and when he's summoned, whether it be off March or actually summoning, which don't do, you look at the top 3 cards, and if you see an ape, you get added to your hand, and then you discard a card. So it works really well with this deck, because late game, once you're already awakened, and you have like Manakas or objections in your hand that just aren't doing anything, then you just discard him and you replace them with Apes thanks to Prince Vegeta. Like, he's amazing. One of my favorite cards in the deck. Then King Vegeta Ape. Oh, this guy's this thing is literally unheard of. I couldn't believe it when I read it. So he's a 5-drop, but you never tap actually summon for 5. You evolve him over King Vegeta, the one that searches the apes. 2 yellows and a colorless. He has double strike, so it's like really strong. A permanent, he gives all Saiyan cards in the battle area, they gain barrier. So that means they can't be targeted, they can't be blown up. And of course, he doesn't have a blocker like the other ones, but he makes the other ones invincible practically with barrier. And then he also has a permanent that all of your apes in hand, their combo goes down by 1, so they're free 0/10s. It's insane. Like, once he's on the board, and then you get the other 2, or just any one, they just become such a force to be dealt with.
It's really hard to get over this, really.
It really is, like, it's just unreal. That's it for the yellow cards. As for the blue cards, I have 3 Mecha. I wasn't playing him at first, but then I started noticing that I needed a way to, like, dig a little deeper and a way to awaken a little quicker, so I wanted to add a few more extra cards. That's one thing with this deck, there's a lot of extra cards. So we're running 3 Mecha, plus he helps. So of course, if you go first, he's not as great because you lose out on the double strike, but it's still really good to take a life and draw a card, dig deep.
Pot agree's good.
Oh yeah. Then 3 beans. I didn't want to draw like multiples of any of the blue cards. I just wanted to have the one to play, essentially like 1 to play, 1 to use for objection, and 1 in prize. But Senzu Bean's phenomenal card, lets you like really manipulate your energy, and thanks to Frieza just making this a free untap 2, it's unreal. It's a really, really good card. Then of course, you can't have a deck without Whis. This card just breaks the game. Tap, restand, and energy. One time I did have all 3 in hand. It was magnificent. Like, I only had 1 energy untapped, so it's like Whis, restand, Whis, restand, Whis. Ugh. My opponent was really, really upset, and sorry about that. But it was great for me. Phenomenal card. Then of course you can't have Boo. You can't have blue without Boo. Just goes hand in hand. Lovely card. Perfect. Summon, draw. Everyone knows Boo. And then of course it's Mega Frieza. So we play objection.
Think objection's the right call in this deck?
I personally really love this card, honestly. Like, it just helps you ramp faster. So you're able to, like, if you're not awakened, or even when you do wake, you're able to play your marches a lot quicker. You're able to summon, you're able to, like, play, like, when you're low in life, you're able to just ramp ahead. So you're able to, like, play Planet Vegeta's without having to use, cards. Frieza's ability, or, you're never going to use objection after you wake, of course, but it just lets you play cards without needing to worry about, like, being behind in energy. Like, just pulling ahead is what makes this deck really good. Like, you can't have Frieza without objection because it just breaks objection. Like, it makes it a 1-tap on the baby side, and it just pulls you ahead every turn you play it. It's probably one of the best cards to, maybe the second best, because March is bonkers, and so is Bloodlust. It's really tough to rank, but I love objection. I think it's very good for this deck. Being able to just ramp ahead of your opponent and then just plow them with apes is very, very powerful.
I'm assuming like opening like 1 or 2 of that turn 1 is really good.
Oh yeah. Like that's the alright. So going when you first start the game, the things you always hunt for is an objection, any blue card, any other blue card, so I can use the objection, and then Planet Vegeta wherever it went. Those are the main things. If I don't have any of these in hand, turn 1, I'm gonna mulligan it all and just try to hunt for this. Just as long as I have at least one objection, any blue card to use, and Planet Vegeta.
It's the most optimal turn 1 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'd be in business. Excuse me, hiccups. And then of course for the last cards, a new card that just came out in the tournament packs is Scientist Fu. So there was 2 Fus. Someone told me Fu was really good, and so the one that came out in the set 3, I was running him. I was using 2 of him.
Granted, that card's really good too.
I was like, wow, this Fu is like amazing, but he's so difficult. Like, I only summoned him once the entire tournament, and it blew out the water. Don't get me wrong. It blew my opponent out the water. It was just game over, unfortunately. But then I pulled this one, and I was like, whoa, let me read this, because I was like, another Fu. And then I read, and he's like a Silver Realm 7, 1-tap, double strike. Whoa, draws 2 cards? Whoa, it's just a much stronger version of Prince of Speed. And you just don't see him coming, so it's like you can go ahead and swing if they have expended their hand, and you could have won if you had 1 more attack. You summon Fu, draw 2 more cards. You could potentially draw Shugesh, or you could draw the targets for Shugesh, like Explosive Goku. or King Vegeta, and it's like just sets your hand like far up, like way off. And if you don't draw those, then you could just draw the apes, and it's like now you have, if you have King Vegeta on the field like the ape, you potentially have free 0/10s. Like, it was just wonderful. Like, my opponent would be tapped out. Everything's, they have like 1 card in hand, 2 life left. I'll summon Fu, swing, anything, and they just pick it up.
Shotgun for free, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Awesome. Is there anything you change in the deck by chance going forward?
Probably changes. I would keep Fu. I'd keep playing Vegeta. One thing I really wanted to do is add in the Bardock. The card, I know might get a lot of backlash for it. The card that I would probably think of cutting is one of the Boos. I know Boo is like an amazing blue card and everything, but the only real like blue card that I want to see, like you have to see opening hand, is Objection. Like in my opinion, for me. So and all the other ones are great. Don't get me wrong, but they don't run the deck. It's like these cards are amazing, and they get the engine rolling and the pipes clean, and you need all of them. But this is the one that you just have to get off as quick as possible. The rest are for the most part just energy. So that would probably be the big thing, so I can run on the full 12 apes, when I get the other Bardock. As for March, I've been tossing back and forth, running 3 or 4, because it's like when I run 3, I don't draw multiple as much, and it works out really, really well. But then it's like, at the same time, it's like you just miss it half the time, and it's like you're always like using one, and it's like I hope I find another later in the game. Like a couple times I would use one, and the other 2 were prized, and it's just game over.
Yeah.
So, don't get me wrong, a part of me wants to run a 4th. I'm not 100% sure just yet, though.
Of course, but yeah, you won 2 tournaments this Saturday, so of course the deck kind of is backed by a little bit of credential now. So, but yeah, anything else? Any additives or final words? I guess.
Shout out to our sponsor, KNK Gaming. Fantastic people. Frankie, you're the best. What's it called? Just gotta send those dash packs. Love the guy. Like, he's a cool guy. Shout out to our sponsor. Shout out to the car guys. Great guys. Love them all. Shout out to our locals. Great place. And all the people we test like literally daily with. It's a great thing.
Every single day.
Every day. Like just when you think nothing's getting done, like you wake up in the morning, do I have to work? No, I've got to test. It's either work or test, feels like at the time, but it's really, really good. Now with these nationals coming up, I can't wait.
I'm excited for all that stuff.
That and Supers like continuing. Oh, it's like today was just a wonderful day. It just gets better and better.
Awesome. Well, don't forget to leave a like on the video, comment any suggestions you want to give us for the deck, because we could always use any sort of input if 100%. Somebody has any sort of insight that we don't have.
Any and all questions, even if it's like you're just bashing on me, think I'm way too hype for anything like that, then sure, fine, I agree. This guy looks like a moron, or something along those lines.
Awesome. But it's been called the Guyz, and we will see you guys in the next video. Leave a like. Damn it. Bye.